Hello and welcome to another episode of Lexx Education. It's the comedy science podcast where comedian me, Laura Lexx, likes to learn science with her normal brother Ron. The word try didn't come out then. It came out as likes. That's a good portent. Hello, Ron.
Hello. I thought you were doing an alliteration thing.
Yeah, I guess that's what my brain was doing too. It's just nobody told me.
Ron really rates radical
Rapunzel. Is she your favourite Disney princess?
I've not seen Tangled.
Whoa. I see it a lot.
You'd have to be in the right tower if you were Rapunzel. The window would have to be on the right wall, otherwise you'd be
I'd have to be in a
Scrooge.
basement. I don't think that would work. No.
No, I'm imagining you still have long hair, but it only comes out one side of your head. So
Oh, I see.
that was the joke.
Yeah. What's wrong with the other side?
Well, it's shaved.
Yeah, I know. But there's in Rapunzel, when the hair gets cut, that side's not magical.
Oh, that's kind of a Christopher Nolan gritty reboot, maybe, of the Rapunzel story, where you have the powers, but you're also flawed and human at the same time.
Here's the thing about the Disney Rapunzel. And I've watched it too many times. They're not designed to be watched at the number of times I've watched it. But the general premise, right, there's a magical flower that grows in the woods, and it's got regenerative healing powers. Yeah. You sing to it, it makes you young and beautiful again. And there's this old woman. Yeah. Mother Gothel. She finds the flower. She keeps herself young and beautiful for centuries. She's not really doing anything wrong. She's just wanting to be young and hot and live forever. But she puts like a cloche over it so no one else can find it, right?
That does seem like doing something wrong.
Sure. It's a little selfish. Then the queen gets ill while she's pregnant with Rapunzel, right? So the king sends out a search party, dig up the flower, boil it, feed it to the queen.
That's also wrong.
Yeah. So then the baby's born, but Mother Gothel is like essentially dying now because she doesn't have the flower keeping her alive. So she kidnaps the baby to keep her strong. Well, she breaks in. First of all, she tries to just cut off some of the magical hair so she can just take some hair away and stay young. That doesn't work. She kidnaps the baby. Now, I'm not condoning kidnap, but what I am saying is that you can't be super mad at Mother Gothel for nicking a baby to keep herself alive when the queen nicked this whole plant to keep herself alive, when the plant was the only thing keeping Mother Gothel alive. So the queen essentially killed Gothel in order to save herself.
No.
Yes.
No, Laura, this is Gollum logic. You're not allowed to just... You shouldn't be allowed to just live forever.
Why was the queen allowed to do it?
No. They found a plant in the forest that kept a woman alive during childbirth so that she could bring a baby to term. That's very different to a mad old witch living alone in the woods forever, like getting off at how young and hot she is all the time, who then kidnaps a baby.
Instead of dying?
Yeah, but like dying after how many hundreds of years?
Yeah, but she's still enjoying life. You can't put a cap on when somebody has to die. Assisted living is not for everybody.
No,
assisted dying, whatever it's called.
No, but I think you should make the most of the time that's given to you, not clinging to it.
No, cling to things miserably and keep them near you.
No.
Yes, make them do podcasts with you so they have to hang out with you. Live
fast, die at a reasonable age.
Live in the middle lane.
Yeah. No, that's Gollum logic. He wanted to hang on to his precious and he got twisted and gross.
Yeah. Well, good on you, Gollum. Why aren't you allowed nice things just because you're not the king?
I'm listening to Lord of the Rings at the moment.
Well, can you turn it off and concentrate on the podcast, please?
Honestly, it's so slow paced that you could do both. I'm using it to sleep at the moment. I've found it way better than podcasts. But like compared to the films, which are already super long. It's mad how slow it is.
Yeah.
You know, at the beginning they have a party for Bilbo, and then he kind of pisses off, and then leaves the ring for Frodo. That's the catalyst for the whole story. In the film, he kind of leaves it there, and then Gandalf goes away for a little bit. He comes back, and then he's like, "Oh shit!" And then they go. In the books, they have the party for Bilbo. He leaves the ring for Frodo. It is then 17 years until Gandalf comes back and goes like, "Oh no, that's the ring of power. This is bad." And then Frodo, like, when Gandalf says this in the film, Frodo just slings on a bag and they, like, head out. In the book, he does nothing for a long time until after his birthday, which is in the autumn. And he just waits for ages. It's really funny how slow-paced it is. But I'm having a great time. It's read by Andy Serkis.
Oh, yeah, I keep saying this on Audible. I'm listening to the first one in that annual book club thing, Kindred.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good. I'd say it's my favourite of the book club ones we've done so far.
Nice. I'm reading one of the books that I got for my birthday because I need to read some of those.
Yeah.
Which is called Beetlebone by Kevin Barry.
Oh.
I did put it in the book club thing, but nobody else wanted to read it, so.
I didn't see that. I'm listening to the book club one at the moment because I'm reading Detransition Baby, that one that I put in the book club group that nobody was interested in. And that one is really fascinating. But I'm slow reading it. It's one of those ones where you're like, I am enjoying this. I'm just not pulled in by the storyline because it's more sort of like world fascinating than like what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce one of the lead characters' names, which means every time that name comes up, I just sit there in a panic for a while.
Send it to me in the chat and I'll nail it in one.
Okay, here we go. There's backstory to it, though. So that's what it is.
Ames.
Sure, but this is born a man who was a trans woman for quite a while, then has detransitioned back to living as a man. When she was a woman, she was called Amy, and now he's a man. He's going by potentially Ames? Or I was like, is it Amos?
Ames. Ames.
Ames. But that is very much a like short for Amy girl's name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, so every time that name comes up now, I do this little dance with myself where I go, Amos, Ames.
Amos sounds sort of Latin American. Which I don't know.
Like Amos is a name, isn't it? Amos.
Yeah.
Like in Chicago.
But it sounds,
isn't
to
that
me,
what
it sounds
Mr.
like
Telephone's
Gomez, you know, Amos.
called? Oh, yeah. Gomez is a great name.
Yeah, Gomez Adams.
Oh, the band Gomez. I really like them. Tijuana lady, where did you go?
They do Whippin' Piccadilly?
Maybe. Anyway, it's 9 minutes into the intro. There's a physics episode coming up now. Maybe you should just listen to it. Go. What are you eating?
Malwan.
Ugh, sounds rough. Those are some of your worst ever mouth noises. That is up there with the olives. Right, Ron. For reasons best known to the yesterday version of ourselves, we didn't just smash this out yesterday. We decided to stretch it over 2 days and ruin a fifth of a week for ourselves.
We faltered. And the second one of us faltered and suggested maybe we stop. The other, I think it was you suggesting it, and I was just like, yup.
Do you know what it was, Ron? It's the same reason we ended up not recording this the other day when we did Buoyancy instead, is because I just want to do my best, and I could see a big sum coming up, and I could feel myself crumbling in focus, and I just didn't want to go, I can't and not. And maybe that'll just happen today anyway. Maybe the sum was just too hard. But I just wanted to give it my best shot.
Yeah, I mean, we are now just kind of starting with the big sum.
What's happening in the background?
Judith's on a
I
call.
thought she was in the office today.
She's leaving soon.
Get out of here, Judith.
Yeah.
Get gone, bitch. Don't tell her I called her bitch.
I might tell her that you called her bitch.
No, we're best friends.
Yes, we're going for lunch on Sunday.
Yeah, I got invited to a lunch with Big Sister of the podcast. Ooh, not a brunch though, a lunch.
No. Is it all three of you come in, or are you just going to pop
Yeah,
up?
I think it is all three of us. What I'm trying to work out is Saturday night I'm gigging in Bath, so I might just come to yours and stay over rather than going all the way back down to Taunton and then back up to Bristol. And then family of the podcast can come and join us.
Family of the podcast. I don't think we've ever said that before. That's cute, isn't
Well,
it?
I was going to say Tom and Child of the podcast, but then that sounds weird. But then
Husband and
yeah,
child
exactly,
of the podcast.
family of the podcast.
Family of the
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah. So,
Oh,
Laura,
God.
you might remember that yesterday we were talking about the town of Hornsdale in Australia. Now, Hornsdale, Australia has its electricity supplied by a huge battery. Their words, not mine.
Jumper did not muffle the sound.
Turning yourself into a rather gassy barnacle really didn't not draw attention to it.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Don't worry, I'll edit it out.
In editing Buoyancy, every time one of us coughed, which was a lot, there's a chicken noise. So it's quite a chickeny episode, which is a nice blast from the past, I thought.
I do sheep bars when we do body
Cute.
noises. On one day, the battery transferred 3.24 times 10 to the 11 joules of energy to the town. The potential difference of the town's electricity supply is 230 volts. Calculate the charge flow to the town on this day. Use the sheet. Give your answer to 3 sig figs.
Oh, God. Yeah, okay. Should we just stop and do this tomorrow?
Yes! Goodbye.
Okay, no, we're not going to do that, Laura. We're going to go to the sheet and we're going to scan it and look for the words that look familiar. So, there's charge flow. So it's hopefully that one. Charge flow. Does anything else have charge flow in it?
You might have to link up multiple formulas.
Do you think you could say that again without rattling and moving your entire thing?
You might have to use multiple formulas.
This is so horrible. You know some of our listeners have sensitivity to noises.
I think they should just buck up. You might have to use multiple
You
formulas.
need to eat less mawam. You are giddy.
I've only had 3.
Yeah, and you're giddy. I might have to use multiple formulas. Oh, no.
Because if you found the one for charge flow, what are the inputs for the charge flow one?
Well, there's 2 charge flow ones. There's charge flow, current, and time. But I don't think we want time because it just says a day, and that's loosey-goosey.
Is it?
So-
Or is the day a unit of time?
It is, but it didn't say a 24-hour period, which is what I'd expect.
That's what a
from an
day
exam.
is.
So why are they saying day and not 24-hour period?
I don't
The other one,
I don't understand.
the other one is energy transferred equals charge flow times potential difference, and that feels more like what I'm doing. What am I trying to find out?
The charge,
The charge
flow.
flow. Oh, God. Okay. So, I do know the energy transferred, though, don't I? So, energy transferred is 3.24 times 10 to the power 11 equals... Oh, Ron,
What?
just stop it.
It's not Malwams this time.
Charge flow is Q. That's the bit I don't know. And the potential difference was that 230 volts? It was. Okay. So, I don't think I do need the time. I think I can find it out by that. So, to find out Q, I need to divide 3.24 times 10 to the power 11 by 230 volts. For that, I need my calculator. Scientific. Bwomp bwomp. 3.24 times 10 to the 11 equals... What the fucking jeebadoos is that? 3.24 E11? What does E mean in a number? Ron, 10 to the power 11 is like 10 times itself 11 times, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 10 times 10 times 10.
Laura.
That's 4, 5.
Haven't you got a scientific
7,
calculator?
8, 9. Yeah, but it put an E in the answer, so I don't know what to do with that. Now I've lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 equals... Oh, it's put an E in again! What does E mean, Ron?
I think... What does it say?
1E11.
Yeah, I think the E just means, like, standard form, like, times 10.
Well, that's not helping me.
Isn't it?
Oh, God. Oh, Ron. I hate standard form. How am I supposed to work that out? Is Judith having a shower?
Yes.
Do you live in a box? What's happening?
No, I'm just in the living room.
Is the shower in the living room?
It's in the room next to the living room. Do you want me to act like this every time your child shits herself and starts screaming in the background, or every time that...
You do!
I don't!
You do!
God, I can't wait to get back to the UK and have a cup of tea.
Yeah. Ron, I don't know what to do with this.
Where have you got to? What have you done?
So I think I know what I need to do, but I don't know how to actually get a number out of 10 to the power 11.
That is a number.
It's not a number that... How do I multiply 10 to the power 11 by 3.24?
Multiply... What do you mean?
Well, because the joules...
Yes.
The transfer of energy is 3.24 times 10 to the power 11. And I've got to divide that by 230.
Okay. What would happen if you divided 3.24 times 10 to the power 11 by 10? What would that equal?
3.24 times 10 to the power 10?
Yep. So you're trying to divide that by 230, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you divide it by 10... then you've got 3.24 by 10 times 10 to the power 10. Now you only need to divide it by 23.
Okay.
So you could keep doing it like that, but keeping it in standard form.
How do I divide that by 23?
Well, what you could do is divide it by 10 again.
Okay. 10 to the 9.
Yeah. And then what you could do is divide the 3.24 by 2.3.
How do I do that?
With a calculator.
But how do I put that into a calculator?
3.24 divided by 2.3.
But don't I need to divide the 10 to the power 9 by 2.3?
Nope. This is kind of why standard form is useful.
3 significant figures. Does the 10 to the power 9 count as a significant figure?
No.
Okay. So 1.41 times 10 to the power 9 is my answer.
You've just divided one number by the other number on this page.
Yeah?
Do you think that...
Because it said to find out the current.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to know, though. No, yeah, to find out the charge flow. Wait, I thought I knew the charge flow. Oh, God! No, wait, I've done this wrong. Oh, that should be energy transfer. Oh, I do need to. Fuck.
Yeah, because it's for 4 marks, this question, so dividing one number by the other one ain't going to do it.
Oh, God, okay. So 3.24 times 10 to the power 11.
Do you know the best thing about us doing this in 2 parts? Is because I've edited all of the exams. And when we get into the second half of each exam, instead of doing this that you're doing now, which is really good for audio, where you're like 2.23, blah, 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 you start doing this. 2.5.
What's the SI unit of time, Ron? Is it minutes or seconds?
Seconds.
Okay, so 24 times 60 times 60. So 86,400 seconds. Ugh. This is an even harder sum. Do I even need the power? I don't even know. Oh, fuck. What am I trying to find out? I'm trying to find out the charge flow. I'm going to write that in capital letters. There. What is the charge flow? Okay. Charge flow equals current times time. Do I know the current? No. So now I need to find out the current. How do I find out current? Current buns, sitting in a row. I don't know the resistance, so I can't use that one. Oh, Ron, no, he's gone again. How do I find out the current?
You can't nag me for background noises and then get annoyed when I mute to try and get rid of them.
Power and potential.
Plus, I was eating a malware.
I do know that. I know the energy transfer and the potential difference and the time. Energy transfer, potential difference and time. Is potential difference the same as power?
Is that a genuine question?
Yes.
Why would they be the same?
Because volts is the same as potential difference, isn't it?
Volts is the unit of potential difference.
And that makes it the same thing. I need to find out the current using the potential difference and the time. And I can't do that. This is a tricko. I can't do this one.
All right, what have we got? We've got the voltage and we've got the energy transferred. Okay, so. But we can work out the power.
Can we?
Yeah, you might even have to use 3 formulas.
Oh, fuck off. But I don't know. I've only got...
Read the whole sheet. Read the whole sheet.
Slap you in the internet.
I'm going to see a film tonight.
I don't care.
You're not being kind.
I don't care. Right, I just don't have the things I need. I can work out... Right, the 2 things I've got that have charge flow in them are either energy transferred equals charge flow times potential difference, which I don't have the charge flow.
What are we trying to work out?
The charge flow. Yeah, that's fucking what I just did. We don't know the charge flow, but I do know the potential difference and the energy transferred. So I divided one by the other to get the charge flow, and you said it was wrong.
I just said that didn't seem like it would be 4
Oh,
marks.
don't tell me I'm wrong before you even checked. You did this to me in the last episode. I know the energy transferred and the potential difference. Energy transferred equals charge flow times potential difference. So the charge flow should be... divide both sides by the potential difference. So divide the energy transferred by the potential difference should equal the charge flow.
Okay, yeah, what was your answer for that?
I hate you! What was my answer for that?
One easy 4 marks.
1.41 times 10 to the 9.
Yeah, that's right, mate.
I fucking hate you, Ron. I hate you so much.
Yeah, good job, mate. Sorry, I'll check the mark scheme before I help next time. You got to admit that was an easy 4 marks.
No, I'm shitting blood here trying to work this out, and then I think I've got it, and you're like, nah.
Prob's not, though.
Oh my god.
Well, excuse me for not thinking you were going to get something on the first try.
I didn't get it on the first try. I sat here overnight. I've done so much bite-sized revision overnight trying to work this shit out.
No, you haven't.
I fucking have,
No,
Ron.
you
I watched a
haven't.
whole video this morning about latent heat.
No, you haven't.
I did. It had an immersion heater. And it had what were those? Oh, it had a different name that like really jogged a memory. Of the stands began with an R. Oh, I've already forgotten the word.
Question 7. Alpha particles, beta particles, and gamma rays are types of nuclear radiation. What?
Radiation.
Radiation.
A radiation.
What does an alpha particle consist of, Laura?
So here you go, Ron. Alpha particle is 2 protons and 2 neutrons.
Very nice.
Fucking did research, you see.
I just don't believe that you would do revision and not tell me while you were doing it.
I just
for
have told you.
gratification. Yeah, but for gratification while you were doing it. I don't think that you have delayed gratification. I don't think you're capable of that.
Maybe I told someone else.
Yeah. Did you tell Tom?
No,
You'd have told Child of the podcast.
No, she was mad at me last night.
Because you were being a grump.
I was. Cheer up, Grump. No, she was angry with me because she wanted to stand on all the presents we bought Tom. And I said, please, could you not? And then on the 4th time I said, please don't do that, I shouted at her. And then she got mad at me for shouting at her. And I was like, fair enough. I'm not supposed to shout. But my big trigger is having to repeat myself. Mm. So a 2-year-old is terrible fodder for me.
Almost 3, though. Almost past those terrible 2s.
True. Right, we need to blast on because I genuinely have a workout in 1 hour.
Okay. 7.2, Laura. A krypton.
Stop unwrapping another Mawam.
A krypton, brackets krr, nucleus, decays into a rubidium nucleus by emitting a beta particle. Complete the nuclear equation for this decay by writing the missing number in each box. So we've got a krr 36 and an 85 rub plus 1 electron. Laura has to fill in 2 boxes.
Fuck, I remember doing this, but I've got nothing. I can use my periodic table. Is that helpful? It's probably not helpful.
It's an equation, so it balances.
Yeah. But so I'm going to put 85 in the top number and 35 in the bottom number.
Final answer?
I'm tossing up between 35 and 37. I'm going to go 35.
Okay. Internal contamination of the human body means radioactive material is inside the human body. Explain how the risk from internal contamination is different to the risk from external irradiation by a source of alpha radiation. For 5 marks.
Oh dear. Fuck. Well, it's inside, isn't it? So it's closer to your vital organs. Your computer's very loud today.
Fuck off.
Just not sure if it's my brain whirring or your computer.
Last record on this laptop, though.
Ooh, physics results are going to be so quiet.
Yeah, I think how slick my editing's going to be.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's going to change?
I'm going to be really excited to use my laptop for a few weeks.
Oh, yeah. I've been like that. That's why I put loads of sound effects in the last one. Inside the body, Oh, God, I don't know. And I hate these where I'm just saying shit sentences.
Should we come back to it?
No, because we won't, because I won't have time. Inside the body, you're making new cells. So if there's contamination in the creation hub, then then they're all getting fucked up. And so it's worse. Gets in your bloodstream. There's no skin to bounce it off. No... body doesn't necessarily fight it off because it's inside. That'll do. I don't know. Let's not waste our time on one we just don't know the answer to.
Do you want me to read that back?
No, I do not ever. Not even in the next episode. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Might be your worst answer.
Listen, I'm just putting my energy in where it's got a chance, and there's no chance on that one, so let's not waste 5 minutes.
Can I ask a follow-up question, though?
Sure.
Where's the creation hub?
It's in the Mrs. Gren.
Right, okay. Mrs. Gren, who works the reception desk at the creation hub.
She runs the creation hub, yeah. Yeah. They have beanbags to sit on.
Don't worry, Laura, we're already on to question 8, so we can leave that behind. A student determined the specific latent heat of vaporization of water. Figure 9 shows some of the equipment used. We've got a power supply, a line, presumably a cable. It's not labelled, so how would I know that? Going into...
That's an immersion heater, Ron.
An immersion heater, yeah. In water in a beaker.
Yes, okay.
Yes, okay. This is the method used. Put 50 centimetres cubed of water in a beaker. Measure the mass of the beaker in the water. Use a heater to boil the water and keep it boiling for 60 seconds. Measure the mass.
600 seconds.
600 seconds, sorry, that's 10 minutes. Measure the mass of the beaker in the water after 600 seconds. What measuring instrument should be used to measure the volume of water? Do you know what's a fun word? Meniscus.
Is that the curvature on the top of water?
One mark.
In the video, thank you. In the video I watched this morning, they did this with a control and they weighed the water to make the volume, to sort of get the volume. But in this one, because the method, they haven't weighed the beaker, I don't think that that's...
Read the method.
Yeah, I am reading the fucking method. Well, I think the instrument that they should use to measure the volume of water should be the same instrument that they use to measure the water that they put in the beaker.
Which is?
They haven't actually said.
Read the method.
Put 50 centimetres cubed of water in a beaker. Measure the mass of the beaker and water. They did measure the mass of the beaker and the water. They didn't say how, though.
But also, mass isn't volume.
Oh. Well, I would say a measuring cylinder, Ron.
Final answer?
Well, yeah, it just seems sensible.
What is a hazard in the student's investigation? Is it burns? Is it boiling water? Is it heat-proof gloves? Is it safety goggles?
Yeah, I think the hazard is the boiling water, isn't it? The burns would be the outcome. So I think it's the boiling water is the hazard. Hazard analysis critical control point. That's the HACCP song.
HACCP?
Yeah, do you remember that? HACCP?
What's that?
Hazard analysis critical control point. It was like you have to analyse the hazard and then put in a control point for it.
No idea. Laura...
That might have been in health and safety at uni when we were putting on shows, actually.
Yeah, just sing at the drama students to get them to pay attention.
Yeah, but look, it's stuck in my head, hasn't it?
Maybe we should do some musical episodes of...
Ron, I've
A-level.
been begging you to write songs.
Yeah, you want me to just perform a random song at a live show?
Yeah.
Anyway, the initial mass of... This is another 5 marker. The initial mass of the beaker in the water was 0.08 kilograms. The final mass of the beaker in the water was 0.071 kilograms. The energy transferred by the immersion heater was, as the water boiled, was 25,200 joules. Give the specific latent heat of vaporization of water given by the student's data. Give the unit. Use the physics equation sheet.
Okay, so the difference then is 0.09. Now, oh my God, I'm so happy that I watched this video. Specific latent heat is the amount of energy required to turn a kilogram of a substance into a different state. So we've got 0.09 kg there. The energy transferred was 25,200 joules in 600 seconds. Then I need my sheet. Where are you, latent heat? Thermal energy change for a state equals the mass times the specific latent heat.
Macbeth.
Yeah. Was it? Was that what Macbeth was? I thought that was a triangle thing. So... God. So it took... Oh, stop typing! Oh, right. Come on, brain. Come on, brain. Think it through. Think it through, brain. Thermal energy change for a state. That was that. That was that. And we changed 0.09 kilograms. So... It's back. I haven't heard that noise in ages.
That was a different noise.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that was from an iPhone. Which goes to show, as I always said, that noise was nothing like what you thought it was.
Right, so first thing I think I need to do is turn that into a kilogram so I can work this out. So, hey
gang, Ron here while editing. Laura spent about 4 minutes on this question. No shade, it was a lot of maths to do. And on my end, Judith was unloading a dishwasher quite loudly. So I've edited this out, but something that hasn't happened, I think, in all of these exams is just a jump cut to the answer. But I thought I'd spare all of you that. So welcome back in 3, 2, 1.
Right, more on my answer is 2,800, and the unit then is joules per kilogram, I think.
Cool
Now
beans.
that sounds like a human doing a cat impression.
Yoki, come here. Come here.
Okay, even if that's wrong, I feel good about my try there.
You sounded very grown up while you were working it all out.
Thank you, Ron.
8.4, Laura. Some thermal energy was transferred to the surroundings while the water was being heated. Explain how this affected the student's value for the specific latent heat of vaporization of water.
Their value would be slightly higher than the true value due to heat transfer to the surrounding area that was lost from the experiment.
Sorry, say that again. Due to the... that was lost... What was the wording there?
What did I say?
Slightly higher than the true value due to...
the heat lost to the surrounding area. Yeah, it would cause a slight inaccuracy in their measurement.
Some of the water evaporated before its temperature reached 100 degrees. Explain how this affected the student's value for the specific latent heat of vaporization of water.
Oh, that would give them a slight inaccuracy on the lower end of the scale due to that water requiring a slightly lower heat than the true specific latent heat. Overall, probably balances, doesn't it? Don't worry about it, lads.
Okay.
Don't write that.
What are you shouting about?
She sounds like that hamster in Enchanted. Apple? No, thank you. It's good. Oh, hello. We've got a figure here. Look at this lady
And
going
she
upstairs.
does have a figure. Wow.
Ooh-wee. She goes upstairs with.
She does. She's all knees.
Hovering on that top step there. One strong wind and she's got a broken collarbone.
9. Question 9. Figure 10 shows a girl doing an experiment to determine...
Not a student,
No,
just a girl.
Doing an experiment to determine her power output by running to the top of some stairs.
I'm going to call this girl Judith.
Right. Figure 10 shows Judith doing an experiment to determine her power output by running to the top of some stairs. The mass of Judith was 60 kg. The height of the stairs was 175 cm. She's a short girl. The Judith ran to the top of the stairs in 1.4 seconds. Gravitational field strength equals 9.8 newtons per kilogram. Calculate the power output of Judith.
Okay. Power equals... Oof. Oof. Do we know how long it took her to do it? Yes. Okay. Power equals... Work done or energy transferred. That's what we're doing. It's probably... Is it work done? Maybe we've got to work that out first. How many points is this? It's 5. Okay. So. Gravitational potential energy. Is that what I need to work out? So she took 60 kgs up 175 in 1.4 despite 9.8. Well, it feels like that sum there has all of that stuff in it. So, yes, it's the gravitational potential energy. That's what we need. Okay, so we're going to do mass, which was 60, times 9.8, and times height is 175. That is gonna equal 60 times 9.8 times delete 175 equals, that gives us 102,900, and that is the gravitational potential energy. So we'll call that joules, and I'll write gravity next to it to remember that. Then that's the energy transferred. So to find out the power, we multiply that by the time. So the time was 100 seconds. So we'll just multiply that by 100. So we're going to call that 10,290,000 watts. Sounds like a lot though, doesn't it?
Does seem
Sounds
like
like
a
a
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
Like
you
most
think like a light
bulbs
bulb's
are
like a
about 5
50,
watts.
yeah.
Doesn't feel right.
Do you think that she's burning 10 million joules per second?
Judith is a warrior, so some of that could be... Yeah, that doesn't feel right.
So that's her burning about 250,000 calories running up these stairs.
No, okay, that doesn't feel right, but I feel like I did all that right. The gravitational... Okay, so maybe the gravitational potential energy is not the same as the energy transferred. Okay, so how do I work out energy transferred? I don't know. Energy transfer charge? No, because I don't know. That doesn't exist in this world. Power over time, but I don't know the power, do I?
That's what you're calculating.
Yeah, well. The thing is, though, I used the gravitational potential energy. Maybe it's kinetic energy.
Doesn't matter if it's energy.
Well, it does, because they're different things. They're different.
Right.
Gravitational potential energy, because she's going up.
Yes.
But it's kinetic energy because she's moving herself up.
So what was the sum that you did for that?
What? Gravitational potential energy? Mass times the gravitational field strength times height.
Yep, okay.
So that felt like all the numbers they'd given me.
So that will be the energy transferred.
Yeah, that
Then what did you do?
Then I multiplied that by the time to get the power.
Why did you do that?
Because power equals energy transferred divided by time.
Power
Why am I
equals...
trying to find out the power?
Power
I need to divide it, Ron. I need to divide it.
Yes.
I understand the world.
I still don't understand how you got to 10 million.
1,029, Ron.
That seems a lot more reasonable, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's go with 1,000 watts.
Let's have a little looky-loo at the mark scheme. How much did you get again?
1,029 watts. Still quite a lot, isn't it? But I'm just wondering if I ought to be doing the kinetic energy one, because it's a moving thing.
No, it's not about that.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, we've only got 20 minutes left, so I think I'm just going to have to submit that answer and move on.
Wait, what was your answer for the gravitational energy?
102,900.
And what was the calculation you did again with those numbers?
60.
Yeah.
60 times 9.8.
Yeah.
Times 175.
Do that calculation again.
102,900.
No.
Yes. 60 times 9.8 times 175. Should it be 1.75? Is it meters?
Yes.
Ah, that's where we're going wrong. Oh, that gives me 1,029, Ron. And then I'll divide that by 100. 10.29.
Why dividing that by 100?
Because you said to divide it by the time, and it's 100 seconds.
She doesn't run up the stairs in 100 seconds.
Oh, it's 1.4 seconds.
Fucking hell.
Divided by 1.4, 735.
All right, okay. I'm writing help next to that one.
Oh, it doesn't make any difference. A mark's a mark.
I can still berate. The total power output of Judith was greater than the answer to 9.1. Suggest 2 reasons why.
She created... Actually, I did.
Actually, Laura did.
I think she's got Judith energy, this girl.
She does have... Does she? I don't know.
Yeah.
Judith walks up the stairs like a normal person.
When you're watching, but when you're not there, she's crazy loon. She created heat as she went up, Ron. She got hot. Her body heated up. And what else? She made noises as she went too. Sound energy.
Okay. Question 3. I'm hungry. A boy, let's call him Ron. Ron took more than 1.4 seconds to run up the same stairs. The power output of Ron was the same as the power output of Judith. What conclusion can be made about Ron's mass?
His mass was greater than Judith's.
We're getting there, Laura. Question
Whoop, whoop.
10.
Oh, we've got another figure. Figure 11. We've got an arm. Looks less puffy than previous arms. And it's got a little like flying aeroplane on a spring. And it's pulling the aeroplane back and holding the spring taut in the other hand. Firing it like an arrow. Ooda-lally.
To launch the aeroplane, the student pulls on...
Oh, it's a student again now, is it?
Judith's not a student. That's fair.
No. She's a professional lady.
The student pulls on it to stretch the spring and then releases it. Oh, Gnocchi's back. 10.1. Just before the toy aeroplane is released, the spring has an extension of 0.12 meters. Mass of the aeroplane, 0.02 kilograms. Spring constant of the spring, 50 newtons per meter. Calculate the maximum speed of the toy aeroplane just after it's launched. Use the sheet, give the unit 6 marks. Let's go!
There's a lot of this sums, isn't it?
Yeah, I told you this was going to be bad content.
No, it's lovely. This is, right, okay. Distance travelled equals speed times time. Is that what we've got here? No. Right, what do I have? I have the mass, the spring content, otherwise known as our Easter episodes. Ron, it's the spring content. Right, that's what I've got.
Also, the word is constant.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Constant. I really need a wee, and I need to go and change the bread over, and I need to do a workout. Right, okay. Force equals spring constant times extension. That's something. Good God. Judith, go and play on the stairs some more. Stop shattering crockery. Is she clearing up your Mawam wrappers for you?
Yes. Judith's cleaned the whole flat.
I've listened. Force. Oh, God. I can't focus. And I need a wee. The maximum speed of the toy. Speed.
Speed of the
How do you
toy.
work out the speed equals distance travelled times time? Okay. So, how do I get any of those out of what I've got? No, piss flaps. Jesus Christ, Gnocchi and Judith! Oh, Ron, none of these help. Is it the force? That's got acceleration. Oh. Oh. None of these have... Oh, wait a minute. There's another page. No, it's not those, though, is it? It's not that. It's not that. Force equals spring constant times extension. Do I know the extension? Yes. Okay, so let's work out the force quickly. The spring constant is 50. Oh gosh, okay. 50 times... What is happening now?
I'm making things
The extension was 0.12. That's 6. So the force is 6. Christ. But we're trying to find this.
All right. Here
Everything
we go.
about this is horrible, Ron.
It's better now.
True. Oh, God. I don't know. I'm going to have to come back to this one because we're running out of time.
Okay. Complete the sentence. As the aeroplane moves upwards through the air, there is a decrease in the blank energy of the aeroplane.
Potential energy.
Give one factor which would increase the distance the toy aeroplane travels horizontally before hitting the ground.
The angle that it is released at.
All right, we're on to question 11, Laura.
Ooh, what does that
Figure-
mean? Is this the last question?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. Figure 12 shows some hair straighteners. Hair straighteners
Alright.
contain heating elements. Figure 12, hair straighteners. 11.1. 111. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it when my car gets to that on driving things.
When the Laura, what's going on?
Oh, it's getting some paper because I think I've got to draw something.
Yeah, when the hair straighteners reach normal operating temperature, an LED turns on. Draw the circuit symbol for an LED in the box.
Oh, balls. I don't know.
Yeah, we really phoned in circuits, to be fair.
Yeah, well, that's because everything kept going on fire. Remember?
Yeah.
I'm going to do a square with a cross in it, Ron.
Okay. Can you send me a picture of that on WhatsApp?
No, I'll just show it to you here, look.
Hang on, let me mark it now then.
Okay.
Wrong. 11.2. 11.2. Figure 13 shows the circuit diagram for the hair straighteners. Each resistor represents a heating element. The power output of the hair straighteners can be changed by closing different switches. Why do the hair straighteners not turn on when only switch S2 is closed?
Because then there is not a closed circuit that includes the power supply.
Okay. 11.3. The hair straighteners have a maximum power output of 120 watts. The energy transferred to the hair straighteners to reach normal operating temperature is 3.6 kilojoules. Calculate the time taken for the hair straighteners to reach normal operating temperature when operating at maximum power. Use the physics equation sheet. Time equals seconds.
Okay. So, power equals 1.
Sorry, gang. Same again. I think, another 4-minute calculation here. Again, no shade, a lot of maths, but often when Laura does this, she completely forgets to be funny or interesting. There were large periods of silence in this one. So we're just going to cut ahead. Let's go.
Oh. I don't know. We'll have to skip. We'll have to move on. I'll have to come back.
All right, last question. Figure 14 shows the hair straightener circuit, which is switch S1 is closed. Switch S2 and switch S3 are closed at the same time. Explain what happens to the power output of the power supply.
I don't know. The power that the power supply is supplying is now spread across the 4 new resistors that have been introduced to the closed circuit. It provides an even amount of power to each resistor. Sure. Right, let's go back to this one. Okay.
So here we went through a period where Laura tried to go back to several different questions, semi-incoherently as to which one she was talking about. I just cut it.
Is the kinetic energy the force, Ron?
No, it's energy.
Well, I can't work out the kinetic energy. Because I don't know the kinetic energy or the speed, so I don't have the things I need to use that.
Where does the kinetic energy come from for this?
From the spring.
Yeah. Where, yeah. What type of energy is in the spring when it's
Potential
extended?
energy.
What type of potential energy?
Elastic potential energy?
Yeah.
Okay, so elastic potential energy is 0.5 times 50. Is that times the extension squared, which is 0.12 squared. And that gives us the elastic. 0.5 times 50 times 0.12 squared equals. So 5.4 is the elastic potential energy. So then is that the same as the kinetic energy?
Yeah, and things like this, you just kind of have to assume that it's all getting transferred to the right thing.
Right, okay, so kinetic energy 5.4 equals, so 0.5 times the mass. The mass was 0.02? Yes, 0.02. Yes, 0.1 times the speed squared. So to get the speed on its own, you're dividing both sides by 0.01. 5.4 divided by 0.01 equals 540. And I need the square root of that. This doesn't feel right, but I'm going for 23.24 meters per second. No, that's too fast. Oh, Christ, I don't know. It doesn't feel right, does it? I don't know. I'm gonna multiply that by 100 because I think I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna go for 0.23 meters per second. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to call it.
Fair enough.
I feel like I really, really, truly did my best on this exam, though.
Yeah, and you didn't get despondent.
I did, Ron.
But you tried hard.
I did.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
All right, and we will reconvene in the new year, I guess, for the results.
Yes, we will.
Whew! Oh, I'm sad, Ron, because I just thought that was such a good... Anyway, no spoilers, but I edited the results last night. And that episode was a tricko I played on myself.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk more about that in the intros for that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. But hey, we have got some important announcements. So we did a lot of waffle chat up the top. But quickly to get to the important stuff, Leicester Festival is coming up very, very soon.
Leicesterville.
It's just round the corner. Leicesterville.
Why don't they call it Leicesterville?
Yeah, because they didn't employ us to be their marketing department. Although I did do the gala the other day. I was unreasonable about it, Ron. It was my first
were you a
gig back
prima donna?
after... I was a bit, but quietly in my own head. So I was the only one that suffered because I was surly. It was a beautiful gala at De Montfort Hall in Leicester, which is a wonderful, amazing, big theatre. And I was doing the show to sort of launch the festival, and you can promote your own shows a little bit and stuff. But because it was my first gig back after a long break, I just didn't want to drive to Leicester, and then every little detail that were perfectly reasonable just made me go. It was very funny. I was talking to some other acts, and I was like, God, I feel so livid about having to be here. And they were all looking at me like, dude, we're playing like a 3,000-seater theatre, and it's lovely, and it's well paid, and it's promotion for your own. Shut up. And I was like, yes, I am a snake woman. But that's how far. Anyway, we've just decided we're going to make this year's Leicester Festival Leicester themed. What? So we're going to be looking at the science of the discovery of Richard III's bones, the science of the history of Richard III, because anything to make it history rather than science. Going to try and investigate all that sort of stuff. We're going to look at Leicester scientists, what's going on in the science world around Leicester. So do get your tickets for that. There's an optional Lab Rats meetup if you sort of have been thinking, it does sound like a nice community, but I'm a bit more lurker than joiner. Hey, so are we. We're lurkers in our own podcast. But do come to a live show and see if there's 1 or 2 rats that you'd like to make friends with.
Yeah. We're too awkward to go.
Oh, God, yeah. No, we hide.
Yeah,
But we wave from a distance. When we walk into the pub where everybody is, we sort of wave and then run away.
Yeah. We love the people, but we find it hard to maintain eye contact with people while they say nice things.
Yeah.
So
Last night at a gig, Ian Stone, he's a great comedian, I was working with him, he was like, what mates of yours have you got in comedy then? And I was just like, oh, none, Ian, none. Will Duggan, that's it. I don't socialise. It's like, yeah, I've never seen you at the comedian's Christmas party. No, I haven't gone to a party for 20 years. Don't
Nick
be ridiculous.
Page, you're friends with Nick Page.
That's what I said. I said Nick Page because he also doesn't really socialise. I just go and stay at his house and we hide together. Yes, so...
I think I've probably got more friends in comedy than you have.
Yeah. I was really trying to list people off that I'm like, who am I actually friends with? I was like, Sarah Keyworth. I'd say we're friends. Abigail, we're friends. Like, we would text outside of... Oh, it was pathetic. Ron. Anyway, so Leicester Festival. It's the 9th of February, I'm pretty sure. It is the 9th of February. It is. And it's at 4 p.m. to try and make it a bit travel friendly for people that are coming in from outside of Leicester. So hopefully that gives you time to get back afterwards if travel is a pain. We will be making our annual trip to Twycross Zoo. Is it Twycross? What zoo do we have to go to?
Yeah.
Twycross, yeah.
Is husband of the podcast coming?
No, and neither's child of the podcast, so it will be just me and you
us at the zoo. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get drunk.
Let's get drunk and go to the zoo.
Oh, no, we've got to get to the zoo.
We could get a cab.
Oh, look at the bus. We'll figure that out another time.
Yes.
Important update from Ron. Last week we announced our new Patreon goal, which is super exciting. And all of our amazing fans have responded in kind. We're already at 158 out of our 200 Patreon goal, Laura.
That's big. I did not expect the reaction to be that much. We had many arguments about doing these Patreon changes. Or not arguments, but just one of us would send a suggestion and the other one would quietly ignore it and then send their own suggestion back a week later. Because
when did
I felt like...
send a suggestion?
I said...
Because when one of us would make suggestions, she means Ron. And then when one of us would ignore it, she means Laura.
Yes, because I don't like asking people for money. So I felt like, Patreon lets you contribute what you want. So my theory was if people wanted to contribute more, they just would. Ron said, no, let's give goals and tiers. And eventually Ron just did it. And I'm overwhelmed by the response to it. So thank you very much.
Yeah,
everyone.
and so many people just saying it's not about the goal particularly. It's not about D&D. You've never played D&D or whatever. Just want to support you guys more, which is super lovely to see. And we're about to record the GCSE retrospective as we plunder headfirst, eye closed into A-level. And we asked people for their favourite bit of the podcast so that we can do some memes around that, and just so many people just said just the community and just being a part of all of that stuff, which was very very nice.
Which on that note, and we will let you go in a minute, but I was thinking somebody brought up in the Discord recently, which, by the way, if you look at the socials for this podcast and you're like, every time they ask a question, there's deathly silence on all the socials. Yes, there is. That's because everybody chats in the Discord now. So that's probably one of the best things about joining up is you suddenly find where people are enthusiastic, which, yes, you could say it has killed any marketing value for this podcast by moving all of the enthusiasm chat about it to a private channel. But hey, who cares? We've made a nice, safe community on the internet, and that's something amazing. But somebody said about tea towels, which, I was meant to make a year ago. I haven't done it. Shut up, everyone. But it did make me think, is it time for a new hat? Do we need a new hat for the end of
Do the tea
GCSE?
towels. Stop procrastinating with different merch.
Why don't we just have a hat that's nice and easy?
What about a
phrase
hat
should
with
we-
the tea towel on it?
Yeah, what about a hat that just has the word tea towel on it?
Or here's a trick. you buy the tea towel, and what you can do is just tie a bit of a knot in each corner. Hat.
Wear it as a hat. Yeah. We could have a pencils down hat for the end of GCSEs.
No.
No, okay. Well, maybe send
Only
us some
because
suggestions.
we've already done the end of GCSE, so by the time we get round to making hats, that's
Yeah.
old news. Pencils up for A-level. We could have on a hat.
Bear down for midterms
Pencils up.
for A-levels.
Anyway.
So anyway, listen, I don't know what I did with that pack about making the bloomin'... Oh, wait, that's register music. It's register time. I just found that pen that I couldn't get to work the other day. I'm going to put it down and focus on the register. Thank you this week.
Put it down.
Mike Chappell. Mike upgraded to the teacher pet tier and sent us a message saying that he isn't in it for the D&D and just wants to show extra support for the podcast, which we love. And thank you, Mike. But he expressed that the more important names in the D&D campaign should go to someone more invested. But I think that fits anyway. And I think we might all expect to see Mike the travelling bard wandering the roads of Tabria at some point during the campaign with his trumpet hanging from a belt that goes over his lab coat. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you very, very much for joining the teacher's pet tier.
We love you, Mike.
We love you, Mike. I think Mike can't make the Leicester shows, so a big salute to you, Mike. All right, Ron, this is a very long intro.
Yeah, we haven't chatted in a hot minute.
No, and I don't think we've recorded for a couple of weeks, have we? We didn't record last week because I was at Disney. Yeah, well, take care, everybody. What do you...
This is pencils down. It's still an exam.
Pencils down.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
pencils down. Was that you saying it?
I said it.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if that was the formal one.
Okay, silence, please, for a formal pencils down.
Okay.
Pencils down.